Hey guys, welcome to Voice for the Voiceless. I'm Lacey, your host, and today we're going to be diving into the subject of transforming into your highest self. I really wanted to touch on this topic, especially because I feel like that's a place in my life right now that I'm going through, and I feel like a lot of you can relate. Just going from toxic patterns to becoming someone you've never been before, how uncomfortable that could be, and just the challenges that you face in between that. First off, I want to talk about just going through the whole experience of your thought patterns changing, and how hard it is that you have to fight your old self versus the person that you're becoming. Because first of all, you never been this person, you never met this person, you never been the person that you're going to be. So it's just kind of hard to even imagine a different person than you've been masking to be this whole time. And that's basically what it is. You've been wearing this mask that literally is not who you are. And God gives us a purpose. The universe gives us a purpose. We are supposed to be on this earth to do something, and going in cycles isn't one of them. If you don't face your fears, if you don't face the demons, if you don't face the traumas that you're dealing with right now, you're going to pass that on to your children, and it's going to continue into cycles for generations and generations to come. One thing I've been really noticing, and not even within my own life, not even within my own family, just outside also, is it is so generational. These problems, these traumas, these demons that you face, all of these things that you have to fight and face and feel so alone against, and all of it's spiritual warfare. It literally is, because it's been passed down to you from generations and generations, but you are going to be the one to stop it, and I'm here to help you do that. We are in this together. I got you. Because one thing about growing up in a domestic violence household, an alcoholism home, and an addictive home, you feel alone. You feel like no one understands. You feel like no one gets you. But I promise you're going to find your soul tribe. And when you do, they're going to literally uplift you into the person that you were supposed to be all along. And everybody comes into your life for a reason, a season. It literally, that's why the law of detachment is just so important. That's something you need to master. That's something I'm working on right now, as hard as it is, especially being an empath and just always trying to save other people. I had to kind of take a step back, because I realized that I was trying to play God. I'm not God. I can't go in and save everybody. Everybody has their own higher power that they have a relationship with. And if I'm trying to step in the way of their trials and tribulations that their higher power assigned to them, who am I to do that? Who am I to do that? Genuinely, I can't do that, because karma's going to come after you for getting in front of somebody else's, you know what I mean? It's not for you to fix. It never was for you to fix. You made that personality for yourself. There might have been situations that molded you into that mask, but it was never you to begin with. Once you remember who the fuck you were and who the fuck you are and where the fuck you're going, it's going to become a lot easier. Because one thing I've realized about myself is I'm on this fucking earth to use my voice, whether that's through music, whether that's through poetry, whether that's through my podcast, whether that's through talking to friends, family, a stranger in the grocery store. It doesn't matter. I know I'm here to speak life into people. And even before I came onto this podcast, right before, I just asked God, please speak through me, because I'm not going off of a script, because that just feels fake to me, fake and phony, bro. I'll make a little bullet points to go off of, but I'm not doing all that. I want it to be natural. I want to sit here and have a conversation with you, because that's what I'd want someone to do with me. I'm gonna even tell y'all, it's really hard for me to get into this. I mean, not to get into this, but I recorded a whole 35-minute podcast before this, and it recorded in slow motion. And now I have to restart. I literally wanted to crash out so bad, but again, you're going to have your old self and your highest self, and you're going to have to question what you're going to do. Trust me, I wanted to spiral. I wanted to say, fuck it. I'm not doing the podcast anymore. They can fucking wait. But I made a commitment to you. More importantly, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do this today. So who am I to just abandon myself because something happened? A simple mistake, a silly mistake. Maybe the words that I was saying in the last one wouldn't have sat with you guys correctly. There's always a rhyme and a reason, and I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out what that was, but I'm going to take the lesson that I personally took from that experience, and I'm going to run with that. It's as easy as that. And I'm really trying not to beat myself up, y'all, because I tried, there it goes. My brain was just trying to protect itself, which makes no sense what I'm about to say, but I wanted to crash out and just call myself fucking stupid that I had it on slow motion, and now I have to redo this fucking podcast again. When in reality, maybe I just needed to hear myself speak and believe in myself that I can spit that shit again, because what? I'm supposed to use my voice? Because it's my podcast? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at y'all. But it's just like, bro, take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. There's no timer on, okay? And like with the trauma, if you had a traumatic childhood, baby, I'm gonna hold your hand, hold my hand. You're not in that house anymore. So you can stop using those defense mechanisms and those coping skills that you use in the traumatic events in the house that you grew up in. You can stop doing that now, because that's just self-sabotaging what you're going through right now as an adult. You have the power to change who you are today. You have the free will to do what you want today. You're free, babe. You're free to do whatever you want. Ask that little girl, ask that little boy in you what they want to do today, and then do it. Do it scared. Because what did I tell y'all fear stood for? False evidence appearing real, bitch. That shit's fake. Go do that shit. Because if you do what you want to do, after you do it, it's not so scary. And then you can do it again. Of course, it's going to be easier to revert back to patterns that you used, for example, for me, 27 years. Like, literally, it'd be so easy to revert back into old toxic thought patterns that I didn't think were toxic back then, because my brain literally it made a routine into using these like mechanisms and stuff to protect me. Because that's what you guys need to realize. You need to give yourself grace too for doing all your past and shit. One, the past doesn't even exist anymore, so don't even hold on to that. Two, your brain was literally just trying to protect you with what it thought it was. That's what it thought it was doing. So at the end of the day, you need to give yourself that grace, because your brain, all it was trying to do at the end of the day is protect you. Even if it wasn't right, at least you can be like, okay, you know what I did, maybe it was bad or whatever, and you realize you don't want to do it anymore. So you can let that go and then place that energy into something that you know that is truly who you are under that mask. Because when you're little and you're a little girl or you're a little boy and you're doing whatever you wanted to because your heart and soul already knew what you were destined. Like when I was a little girl, all I wanted to do was just dance, sing, dress up, and all this stuff. But society, trials and tribulations, life, people, all of the things, all these experiences like molded me into something that was just like safe in my head, right? But then it was like, wait, this is not who I am. This is not starting to feel good. Like, what? This is not, no. And like now that I'm healing and I'm tapping into my inner child and I'm asking her what she wants to do with the day. Because another thing you guys need to realize is, using me for an example, because examples are the best way I understand what someone's saying. Like, so me as a 27-year-old, I have my 27-year-old self in my head, but I also have that 21-year-old girl who was fucking in really bad relationships, and she was doing shit that she had to do to protect herself. There's also the inner teenager in me who's fucking pissed off at everything that's going on. There's also the inner fucking child in me that fucking, you know what I mean? There's so many different versions of you in here that will take over certain situations. Like, that's why it's so important to pause and think before you react, because it's not even you sometimes who's about to react. The impulsive reaction, that's literally defense mechanisms. You know what I mean? Or just autopilot. Get off of autopilot. Like, I promise, that was literally one of my goals I wrote down this year. I'm going off of autopilot. I'm thinking before I react. Because going off of autopilot, all that's done for me is just end in suffering, traumatic experiences, fucking energy drained. Like, it doesn't, no. We are thinking before we speak. We are thinking before we act. We are actually taking our time with it. Okay. Why do bad people win? Why do bad people win? Okay, I want to talk about this because I found myself a couple of days ago just going down this rabbit hole of like all my old friends or old relationships or just family members, friends, current friends, like whatever. It doesn't matter who it was. Anybody I've had gotten in contact with that is still in their fucking cycle, just having fun, fucking around, going to the club, fucking on people, like whatever, bitch. Okay? I'm like, damn, they get to do all that. Why the fuck am I over here doing all this fucking work for myself? Why? They're having fun. They're still bullshitting. They're still, what? Life looks pretty good over there. Then I had to really take that motherfucker. Bitch, take a step back. Do you know why? Bitch, because they're like this still. Okay? We're actually working towards something. We're doing this while they're staying still in a circle. Why do you think, bro, there's people I haven't talked to in like 5 years that are doing the same shit that we were doing 5 years ago. Would you like to wake up 5 years later and still be doing the same shit you was doing, bitch? No. Because we're about growth over here. I don't want to be in the same spot I was yesterday. And I'm not. And that's the beautiful thing about becoming your highest self, is that every day is a learning experience. Once you start realizing the universe is working for you and not against you, life gets a whole lot brighter. Whole lot brighter. Because this is another thing I want to talk about. Nobody asked you to go and save them. When you're trying to over there and be God and fucking all this, it does not say come to you when things get rough. They need to go to their higher power. They have their own relationship with the higher power, and you stepping in front of their trials and tribulations and things like that. Who are you to do that? Who asked you to do that? Who are you? No one asked you to be their hero. The only person you should be a hero to is yourself, because you've abandoned yourself. You've abandoned yourself. You need to take the fucking mask off. You need to put the mask on. Bitch, I'm talking about you need to take that personality mask on and put that oxygen mask on yourself, because it's time to lock in, bitch. Could you imagine if you poured your whole self into yourself? If you like gave the advice that you give to others to yourself? Can you do that the next time you're in a situation and you're fucking spiraling and you don't? Because I'm guilty of just being in my hermit shell. I'm not going to go to anybody. I'm going to raw dog this shit. Fuck everything. I don't care. Okay. So how about you sit back and be like, okay, if my friend was telling me this exact situation that I'm in right now, and she told me what I'm going through, and I had to give advice to her, what would I say? Take your own fucking advice, bitch, because you deserve to take your own advice. You are so smart. You know what you want. You have the intuition. It's your life. That's when you wake up and realize it's your life. Everyone else is just living in it. But that goes to say, that's how everyone should be thinking. Fuck everybody else. Fuck the external validation. Fuck all that. Because at the end of the day, it's you. You go to sleep by yourself. I don't care if you're sleeping next to a partner. Who's in here? Not them. They have no idea what you've been through. Truly, you can tell someone a story over and over again. They're never going to get it. They can sympathize with you. They can co-sign your bullshit. They can be apologetic. They can be understanding. They will never understand what you had to go through. The feeling, the energy, everything. And that's okay. That's actually beautiful, because no one can understand it the way you do. Even with that saying, like, even the color of the shirt, I'll say it's maroon, somebody will say it's burgundy. It doesn't matter. We don't have the same lens, bro. We're not supposed to. And it's so beautiful. People think like everything's so fucking divided. And it's like, okay, so what? I love being an individual ass, unique bitch. Like, one thing about it, you could be unique as a person. Don't get me wrong. Everybody is unique and has their own. No one can replace your energy. That's for sure. But your situations and shit that you go through, don't sit there and feel bad for yourself, baby. Because I promise there's about like 1 billion people that have been through the same fucking shit as you. And they're still out here with a smile on their face. There's two types of people. One's that sit in their self-pity and the other that gets up and does something about it. So their children don't have to face the same fucking struggle they did. We have to live and learn. Live and learn. Double L, bro. Double L. Okay. That just goes to say you're literally building something real, while everybody else, like all these like people that did you wrong or like whatever it is, it can be in any situation, real life or fucking in like the media world. They all look like they're having the time of their life when they're fucking fighting demons, bitch. We can fucking see that. Shit is coming to light. This shit is not a joke. That's why you need to take your life so like, don't take your life serious. That's what I mean. Like, it's a thing. Like, I literally was thinking about getting a tattoo that said, why so serious? Because there comes to a point, you do need to stop taking everything so serious. That's your nervous system freaking the fuck out and thinking you're in danger all the time. Please take a step back, put your hand on your heart and tell yourself it's okay. If you took the time to do these and I promise you, your day would probably go a whole lot smoother. Your cortisol would not rise. Your blood pressure would not rise. You play a part in your own misery, and that was the toughest pill I had to swallow. If you're sitting there and you have a miserable life and your literal thought patterns are negative all the fucking time, it's you that needs to change that, nobody else. Because I could sit here and give you the most powerful speech. I could plant the seed, but it's up to you if you want to change your life or not. Are you joking? Why do people, like, that's what they say. People are going to have to change for themselves. You can't convince someone else to change. And that's why they say to lead by example, like I told you guys in the last episode, because it's like, you need to put, this all ties in together, the pouring into yourself. Once you love yourself, once you do the work for yourself, that's when people will start to follow. That's how it was supposed to be. You always needed to put yourself first. And we're doing that this year. Me and you, we are together, okay? You're not alone. Because I felt alone for so long. But there are people out there, I promise you, that will understand you, that will love you, that will reassure you, that will clock your shit when they fucking need to. because I needed my shit clocked, and thank God I did. Because I thought I was doing some work, but I needed to do some deeper fucking work, bitch. Because that's the ego in you. I'm good. I got this shit. Fuck, I don't need that. What? Baby, you need to take another step back. Now we need to do this all over again. Like, what? So, it's just so funny to me. Just life in general. Like, and I'm only 27. And that's what amazes me too. And if you're younger than that watching this podcast, I'm so proud of you. Because you're starting this shit very early. Okay, like I made the decision to stop this cycle at 25. And like 2 years later, I'm still growing. You know what I mean? And I haven't, like, being 2.5 years celibate, not speaking to anyone, solely pouring into myself as a human being, as a, like, my soul, feels so good. And that's all I needed to do this whole time. And it's like, once you start doing that, the universe is going to be like, oh, okay, she's ready. Now I can give her what she's always desired 10 times better, because now she knows how to handle it. Now she knows she can't let go of herself. Because if she lets go of herself, everything else around her will fall. And that's what you do need to realize. If you're not pouring into yourself and loving yourself and being like all of the things, you need to be the love of your life. So that when anything in your world fucking comes around you, don't worry, I got it. I know how to make myself feel good. I know the work I need to do. I know what mess I need to clean up. I know how to apologize. I know how to be the bigger person. No ego involved. Ego is the worst and best thing, because I know your ego literally was made to just protect you. That's all it was. And that's what you guys need to understand. The brain, like once you guys start to like literally understand what your brain was made to do for you, that's a part of your flesh too. Like we're fighting against our flesh at the end of the day. It's the flesh versus the soul. So you need to just do some very deep shadow work. That's what I recommend to do, because that's when I really started stripping the layers back and just understanding who I was as a person to the core. Not what the mask says, not what the outside says, bro. Like, and I always thought being vulnerable was like ew, like why would anybody want to hear what I have to say or what I've been through? I don't want anybody to think less of me. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, like XYZ, right? But at the end of the day, it's like your words of strength, experience, and hope can change one person's life, if not more, for the fucking better. Your story can help someone flip their fucking life, and how good would that feeling feel? That would feel better than any other fucking shit I've ever done in my toxic life that felt good as fuck. That rush, being fucking whatever. I'd rather fucking sit here and help, because my purpose is to use my voice. Again, whether that's through music, poetry, the podcast, whatever the fuck, I know I'm supposed to do this shit. And it starts with me. I have to do that for myself first. I can't help you guys if I can't help myself. But me doing this for you is healing me. And that's why I love that we're going on this journey together with this self-love, reaching our highest potential. We can do this shit because we're remembering who the fuck we are, bitch. I got my witch's quartz with me. Y'all remember what these do? But honestly, I'm just so appreciative of you guys. Like, I'm just glad we're here together. Creating your own reality because God lives within you. Something else I want to get into, because it's like, you guys need to realize they say it in every religion, so I just know it's fucking true. The Spirit of God literally lives within you, so why do you think you're incapable of doing anything that your fucking heart desires? Like, hello? Are we joking right now? Like, you can literally create your own reality, and that's why the perspective is reality is so fucking important, because it's how you think is how you're shaping your reality. You have to think about it. If you haven't seen The Truman Show, bitch, you need to watch that, because that is what's going on in your life right now. The way you think is the way that life's gonna flip it. It's a mirror. You are the universe. Do you understand me? Is it clocking to you? What is not clocking on? But no, for real. Like, because I'm just now realizing, like, this has been a discovery between the months, like the end of February, beginning of March right now. Like, I literally have just been, because I can, through proof, like, it was started as the thought process, like, wait, maybe if I like flip my perspective, like things will get better. And then you flip your perspective and you start to do things that align with who the fuck you are and where you're supposed to be going, and just pouring into yourself and being the highest version and actually thinking optimistically and thinking positive instead of negative and like changing who you are. And then you're like, wait, life could have been like this the whole time. Because I used to be the type of person who would sit there like today, if I had a bad day yesterday, I'd think about it all day today. And then do my coping mechanism, which is smoking weed. And then fall into my depressive rabbit hole, and I'm just going to feel sorry for myself. Why would I do that when I could tomorrow? I mean, yesterday doesn't exist anymore. Because time is not real, you guys. Yesterday doesn't exist. What would me dwelling on yesterday do for me today besides literally waste today? That's why literally the enemy literally is a liar. He's literally in your head like, nah, bro, like you should be thinking about yesterday so we can waste your time today so you get nowhere near your potential. Once you start observing your mind and seeing what the fuck it's doing, you're like, wait, because what you don't realize too, your brain is the best negotiator. It knows what you want. It knows how to get you to do what you want. What? You said what now? I can eat a chocolate cake if I just want a 5-minute walk. I can make it a 3-minute walk and still eat the chocolate cake. Wait, I don't even have to go on the walk at all because I have free will and I can eat the chocolate cake. You see how easy it was to talk me into that? Because you know yourself best, bitch. So if you think that you're sitting there, I don't have to do that today, like. So you just let your brain talk you into not pushing yourself to be the best it could be? Because again, your brain's just trying to survive. It's trying to make you comfortable. It's trying to do shit that it's never done. You trying to do something you've never done before, your brain's like, wait, no, stop, wait, we haven't done this before. What? I can't expect anything. Okay, that's why we need to start doing that so we can build the rapport in the brain. Like, wait, I'm ready. I'm bracing. We're doing new shit. We're always doing new shit. It's gonna be perfectly fine because guess what? Everything works out the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter how hard you try to manipulate it. If you try to manipulate what the fuck you're going through, any situation, doesn't matter where you are. Work, family, friends, yourself, fucking relationships. You're just stirring up a pot and you're making it fucking messy. Let go of the control and I promise you it's going to be a beautiful bouquet of flowers at the end of the day, bitch. That probably didn't make sense, the analogy, because I was talking about cooking and then flowers, but like you get what I'm saying. You picking it up. God wants you to thrive. God is there for you. He doesn't want you to suffer. And that has been one of the biggest lessons I have learned this year. We're only 3 months in, but I feel like it's very clear to me now that God wants the best for me. He doesn't want me to suffer. He doesn't want me to go through bad shit. And all the things that he has pulled me through, I need to wake up from the spiritual amnesia I've been under and realize he's always came through for me. It was always me who stepped in front of his way. It was always me that stepped in front of his way. Because one thing about it, God never walks away from you. You walk away from God. So it's just like you have to take responsibility. You have to take accountability for what you've done and what you've played a part in your own misery with. Just being more aware of when you're self-sabotaging and getting in your own way will help out a lot. And in my experience, that's what helps me out. But yeah, it's time to give it to God. And that is just how you're going to get out of your own way to getting to your highest self, because you've been them all along. You've been your highest self this whole time. You've just been trying to run on what feels good to your flesh. Honestly, it does go back to the flesh because those are two different things, your soul and your flesh. Your flesh really does want one thing and your soul wants the other, and you really do have to figure out which way you're going to go. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be times where you're leaning into flesh and you're leaning into the soul and it's not so steady, but there will be a point where if you pour into yourself and you do the work, you will get to the point where it is a steady fucking straight and narrow. Like, I'm not taking detours. I'm not doing all that this time. I know. And the trials and tribulations that you go through will teach you discernment so that you don't have to go through those situations again, especially if you're someone like me who literally went through 10 years of domestic violence, and I was in relationships with people who had were using substance and abusing it. Being in those relationships for 10 years did teach me, now that I look back on it, it did teach me. Now I'll know what signs to look out for when I am dating my next partner. When I do start dating and getting to know people, I'll actually know what the red flag is, and I will know if I decide to ignore it and go through my old ways and listen to my flesh and not my soul. Because my soul doesn't want that for me. And life is literally a game. It's a test. It wants to see how much you learn, what you're going to do with what you learned. Are you going to still do what you did last time and then go through it all over again? Because you know when you get in these situations, you know the outcome. Like intuition, I know you can feel it. For me, I feel my intuition in my gut all the time. And I remember in certain instances, especially in my last relationship, in the second time we hung out, it might have been the first, I remember being in that car and talking to him and getting that gut feeling like, this isn't right, bro. Like, it felt like he was just mirroring me. And that's one of the tactics that abusers do use, is just mirroring you in the beginning to get you to like them because you guys are so like this. And then the real them comes out, you know? So, like, that's one thing I have learned. And it's like, okay, in the next relationship, even friendship, I'm going to know the signs when someone is not treating me the way I need to be treated, because it's about respect. Do you respect yourself enough to walk away? Seriously, because I remember being on my knees praying for God to give me the will to walk away so I could be where I am right now, talking to you guys, giving you guys my experience, strength, and hope that you can and you will thrive. You will reach your highest self. You already are them. They are in you. Remember, you have God on your side. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people aren't tapped in like that. I wasn't tapped in for a long fucking time. But I'm so grateful that I am now. Because it's better now than never. And people always think that their time is up. There's people in their like 50s and 60s and 70s thinking they still don't have time to change. It's never too late to change. It's better that you change at 70 than not at all. Right? Like, it's gonna be tough. But the outcome. That's the thing. Like, when I was talking about why do the bad guys look like they're always winning? Because they're continuously being in a cycle. You're building something. That's why it feels so hard. That's why it feels so lonely. That's what makes you feel misunderstood. But this too shall pass, bro. You're going to be at a point where you're like, wow, this is what it was. This is what it was teaching me to get here right now where I am. Because the time is now. Tap into yourself right now. Because you got this, boo-boo. So that's going to be it for this podcast. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here to support me. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Follow my TikTok, Instagram. Everything will be in the description below. And stay tuned for the next episode. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you on the next episode. And remember, do something for your inner child this week. I want to see what y'all did. Comment that shit in the comments. All right. Love you guys so much.